Ladies and gentlemen, I've been following this story for a couple days now, and I finally feel like it's time for me to chime in. Israel, the way that Candace Owens so eloquently says it, seems to be the organization, the government that murdered her best friend, Charlie Kirk, who she was totally in touch with, in very good contact with up until the end of his life. I'm Tal the Traveling Clat, your favorite white colonizer. Boy, do we have a lot of clips to review right now of this absolute retard, Candace Owens. Let's just get right into it.
In the Hamptons, and he had more than one event, but he had essentially what was staged, an intervention was staged by Bill Ackman, because Charlie's rational thoughts about Israel were a no-no.
Israel.
This is not the route that you should be going on. And Charlie was surrounded by his friends, his quote-unquote friends. Bill Ackman was very upset, and threats were made. That is what I am told, and I will tell you that I am very happy for Bill Ackman to dispute this narrative. In fact, he was asked to dispute this narrative. Max Blumenthal went out to him today, and Bill Ackman came back and said, I have receipts I can show you. And he did not provide the receipts.
He actually did.
This is not how it went down. And I know that Charlie was offered a ton of money in this moment. Charlie said no to BB.
I'm sorry. Please, really. And I'm trying to be nice. I really am. I know I've called her retard 6 times. I know that's a weird way to be nice, but I'm trying to be nice. You're watching this clip with me. The facial expressions, the way she's speaking, the demeanor. Does it seem to you like a normal person? This looks like an alien. It's no longer a human. She's a demon creature. Look at the facial. Look at the anger. It doesn't even make any sense.
And take a picture.
By the way, ladies and gentlemen, she was not friends with Charlie before he died. Charlie openly and publicly distanced himself from both her and Tucker Carlson. Pretty publicly, especially as friends. So it's like literally Qatar paying these people to pretend like they were friends. How disgusting is that? It's so gross. This whole situation is disgusting. Literally just fucking grifting on your dead previous friend's body is horrible.
Sure. When Bibi Netanyahu called him and invited him to Israel, again in a move that when it happened to me, and it wasn't Bibi Netanyahu, felt to me like a laced threat. I am inviting you guys. I will give you my platform, actually, to come clear matters up, to tell us what really happened. Because, I think Charlie was definitely on the brink of changing some of his perspectives. And I can tell you factually, Charlie was praying the rosary. Charlie was going to Mass. One of my last conversations with Charlie was me joking with him saying, just make the last step, okay? You are, I said specifically, you're too smart to be a Protestant. Just take the last step, Charlie. And he says, ha ha. He was speaking about Mary. And
yeah, that sounds like a real friendship right there. You trying to convert this guy to your Catholicism. And again, I don't have a dog in the fight about Catholics Christians. You guys fight it out. I don't give a shit. That's not my... You Catholic Christians, I know you guys have a beef. I don't care. It's not my thing. I do not care about that thing. But that's one of your last conversations with your supposed best friend of many years, is that you're trying to force him, this very nice, polite man, to be a Catholic and talking down against his faith. That's a sign of a real good friend, Candace Owens. This person, this is a disgusting human being. For real, she's horrible.
Start taking place. You stop referring to yourself, as I did, as a Judeo-Christian. Again, it is
So it all comes back to like Catholic anti-Semitism that goes years back. And again, I'm not saying that all Catholics are anti-Semitic. I lived in the Philippines, which is a heavily Catholic country. I know with different sort of practices than mainstream European Catholicism, but still very much Catholic and very loving of Jewish people, very open to Israel. It's just this perverted version that Candace Owens has grifted to. So strange. So Bill Ackman responded this afternoon. Real Candace Owens slandered me by accusing me of staging an interview with Charlie Kirk in which threats were made with respect to his supposed evolving stance on Israel at an event I hosted in the Hamptons. Candace also intimated that I blackmailed Charlie. On the show, Candace said that she would be very happy for me to dispute the narrative. While it pains me to drive more traffic to her program, I'm responding here to clear my name. It saddens me that we live in a society where social media influencers seek to monetize the tragic death of Charlie Kirk. Not only that, but Candace Owens is a fucking demon. For the record, at no time have I ever threatened Charlie Kirk, Turning Point, or anyone associated with him. I've never blackmailed anyone, let alone Charlie Kirk. I've never offered Charlie or Turning Point any money in an attempt to influence Charlie's opinion or anything. In fact, my interactions with Charlie Kirk have been extremely cordial, albeit limited, regretfully so, as I was very impressed by him and his work, and I will sadly never see him again. In an effort to clear the record, I am sharing the following. I have followed Charlie Kirk on X for some time and greatly admired him. While I didn't agree with Charlie on every issue, I had an enormous respect for his intelligence, vast knowledge about religion, and his willingness to take on all comers in open mic sessions on campus and otherwise. Periodically, I would repost some of his posts and video clips, just like I do on my channel. I connected with Charlie when he DM'd me in late May of this year, expressed interest in meeting me. In light of our respective schedules, we were unable to find a time to meet in person, so we scheduled a Zoom on June 11th. On the Zoom, he explained to me that conservatives, in particular young conservatives, are getting tired of defending Israel, and this is very concerning to him. I asked him how I could learn more. He suggested it might be useful to convene a group of young conservative influencers on a host topics that can include Israel to get a better sense of how conservative community was thinking about Israel and other relevant issues and the concern of young people. Just to make a point, by the way, when I was in Miami a couple months ago, around a similar time, I was convened into a meeting with some very, very, very influential people who are in similar circles to Charlie Kirk and Candace Owens on this exact topic. So, and there wasn't a lot of yelling and screaming and pressuring each other going on there. It was actually pretty cordial, and it was a brainstorming section because Jewish people were freaking out. So if Charlie convened this meeting, it just goes to prove how much he actually did care about Israel and how much he cared about defending the Jewish people, rather than this fucking insane conspiracy theory that Candace Owens is trying to claim that he was starting to shift and that Israel took him out because he was starting to shift. Why didn't Israel take you out, you fucking dumb cunt? Why didn't Israel take out Tucker Carlson? Because Israel doesn't do that, because you guys are fucking retards. What's wrong with you guys? Okay, let's keep going. On the Zoom, Charlie also said that his open mic conversations on campus were very effective in addressing issues on the minds of students, but he was the only one person with limited bandwidth. He suggested that recruiting a group of junior Charlie Kirks who could host open mic sessions on college campuses would be an effective way to encourage debate on a host of issues, an approach he believed to be worthy of consideration and better enable students to get to the truth. I expressed interest in learning more, and we thereafter scheduled a series of conference calls and Zooms with Charlie, Turning Point staff, and a member of my team in an effort to assemble a diverse group of influencers who we could convene for a day-and-a-half session. In addition, to get a better sense of what we were young conservatives were on the various issues, Charlie thought doing so might enable him to identify potential candidates who would launch their own campus stores and carry forth his approach to dialogue. We chose the afternoon of August 4th and the afternoon of the 5th for convening, and Charlie and his members of my team worked together on an invitation list. I offered to host the sessions in Bridgehampton and cover the costs, and so I could attend some of the sessions as I was working from there at the time. Charlie sent out an invitation of 35 or so influencers that accepted. Charlie estimated that the influencers who attended collectively had more than 100 million followers. Charlie and Turning Point put together the agenda for the meeting, and the topics were economic future of America, cultural landscape of dating and marriage, the convergence of East and West, Mamdani, the new threat to America. Charlie asked me to moderate the economic future discussion, which I did, and thereafter hosted a Q&A with the participants. Convergence of East and West included a discussion of immigration value systems, U.S. approach for foreign policy in Israel. While I had wanted to attend the Convergence panel, I had a board meeting that conflicted with this session. Damn, we're almost done. This is really long. Sorry, guys. I don't mean to sit and read. We have more clips to take a look at as well. Those attending the session said that Israel discussion was very similar to other sessions, with attendees expressing varying points of view as well as explaining the views of their followers. Some participants were critical of Israel and U.S. support of Israel, and others were supportive. The session were punctuated by meals. I attended one group lunch and a group dinner where I sat with Charlie and others. I found the sessions I attended interesting and really enjoyed meeting the influencers. It gave me a considerable perspective on what is in the mind of young Americans, a wide range of issues. At the end of the event, I sat with Charlie and members of my team, and we discussed the events of the convening. Charlie believed that he could identify a number of potential Turning Point ambassadors who could launch open mic events on campus, that we would follow up with them. We agreed to keep in touch thereafter. We corresponded by text thereafter, and over the next few weeks, on a range of topics that did not include Israel. The next thing I knew, he was gone. In short, this was not an intervention to blackmail Charlie Kirk into adopting certain values on Israel. It was nothing of the sort. And again, Bill Ackman apparently already cleared his name before Candace Owens made this video. She already sort of spoke about this situation, or he already spoke about this situation and gave information on and receipts about what was going on before Candace Owens dropped her retarded cunty video. Next clip is also from Bill Ackman. A few facts, corrections, and receipts dispel misinformation going around on social media. The Turning Point USA Hamptons event was not held in my house, but rather at a hotel in Bridgehampton. As I previously expected, I did cover the cost of the event, i.e. travel, food, and lodging for the participants. This was not a secret event. No one signed an NDA. Everyone, including the Turning Point representatives who attended, are totally free to share whatever they want about what took place at the house. This was not a Catham House Rules events. Some have even publicly shared their experiences and perspectives on the convening. In the spirit of transparency, I encourage any of the other attendees that have not already shared their thoughts on the event to do so. That said, I understand why some may not want to do so because of the fear of getting attacked by the mob who assume that something untoward took place. I'm sure that there are some Israel supporters of Turning Point USA who became upset with Charlie because he told me so. He complained to me that some of the pro-Israel advocates view any criticism of Israel as anti-Semitic, and we both agree that this is wrong. I agree as well that this is wrong. Jews are horribly bad at distinguishing between anti-Israel and anti-Semitism at this point, and because they feel so attacked, many of them just go off the wall. It's bad. I did not complain to Charlie about Tucker Carlson's criticism of me at Turning Point USA. I did not ask him why he thought Tucker attacked me. Why he told me that he did not know why. He told me that he thought my statement in response to Tucker was a great one. It can be found here. I've been reluctant to post private text, but in an effort to put this whole thing to bed, I share the following brief exchange with Charlie. And while reading this text exchange, ask yourself whether Charlie sounds like someone who I threatened, blackmailed, and or was a subject of an intervention about Israel otherwise. Lastly, I totally understand the shock and distress that all who followed Charlie Kirk are feeling in this ultimately tragic death, but let's not let those emotions cause us to construct conspiracy theories and cause innocent people harm, potentially deadly harm. One tragic and devastating loss is enough. He posts a WhatsApp message. How are you? I'm doing great. Really enjoyed our time last week. Thank you for doing that. It was great and great to get to know you better. We should do dinner sometime with the ladies. Absolutely, that would be awesome. Let me know when you will be in NYC and we'll have you over. Thank you. I think we are there for a few times this fall. Great, just let me know. Yeah, it seems like somebody who he threatened for sure. Sounds like here's them sharing some charts. How are you? I'm doing really great. Really enjoyed our time together last week. It was great and great to do it. We should do that. Yeah. Okay, so yeah, and apparently all of this was posted and again publicly open for everyone to see before Candace made her retarded video. Before. Okay? Before. And Candace still decided to make this video because apparently they were such close friends. Guys, here's the thing. If it's clear, I want you guys to be able to discern this because I know some of you guys who are watching may be Candace Owens supporters. Maybe you haven't made it this far. If it feels like a grift, it's probably a grift. Okay? If it feels like somebody is a mouthpiece, they probably are a mouthpiece. How do you know I'm not a mouthpiece? I say the word cunt and retarded. The Israeli government won't pay me to say the word cunt and retarded. The Mossad won't pay me to say the word cunt and retarded. That's how you know I'm not paid by them. When you sit down and say the same words over and over again that every other woke right influencer is saying, that's how you know it's a grift that you're getting paid very good money to do. You know who pays my bill? You. When you send me a donation on PayPal, when you buy my merchandise like this shirt, when you go on Patreon, that's who pays my bills. Nobody else. You know who pays Candace Owens' bills? Allegedly to protect my own ass? Qatar. That's who allegedly does it. Okay. This is Charlie Kirk's pastor. Charlie Kirk was my friend and I was his pastor. I want to simply say this regarding Candace Owens. Charlie Kirk was a friend to Candace and never publicly spoke poorly of her, though he disagreed with her. He never operated nor entertained gossip or innuendo concerning Candace. My only comment I offer regarding Candace is this. I only wish this tragic time of mourning she would be the friend to Charlie that he was to her. He would have never treated Candace or his family in such a way had, God forbid, this tragedy been hers. A friend loves at all times. Yep, and look at this. First comment, Candace Owens is a satanic possession. I agree. She's acting like a demon. She's not acting like a person. She's acting like somebody who, and I don't believe in demons, but she's acting like somebody who has been possessed. Okay? She's acting like somebody who has been possessed. She's not okay in the head. If your friend dies, you could not talk like this. You could not go on and do conspiracy theories like that. It wouldn't be possible if this was a real friend of yours that just passed away. Here's this pastor continuing.
To just encourage y'all a little bit and to kind of put things into perspective, I want to read you a passage out of Romans. It says in Romans 12:15 and 16, "Rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. Be of the same mind toward one another. Do not set your mind on high things, but associate with the humble. And do not be wise in your own opinion." I think that's a fitting verse. I mean, we're hearing all kinds of speculation about Charlie and what he believed and didn't believe. And I just have to tell you, this is not the time for it.
Yep.
It's a time to minister to the family.
Yep.
They have a husband and a father to bury. We have a friend to bury, a brother to bury, a son to bury. And the world is mourning. And this is not the time to get clicks. It's not time to build your empire. It's time to just simply weep with those who weep.
And now, let me tell you something, by the way, okay? The reason why Candace is going to disregard everything that his pastor, Rob McCoy, said, why is she going to disregard it? She's going to disregard it because he's not Catholic. That's how divisive she is towards the message of Jesus and to Christianity. Because he was a Protestant, because he's not a Catholic, she's going to go and publicly disavow what the guy says because he doesn't believe in the same branch of Christianity as her. Can you imagine? Can you imagine being that demonic? That's a demon, ladies and gentlemen. Apparently, Megyn Kelly wanted a slice of the action as well, and now is looking to grift into the views and the clicks.
Why would you want to silence such a powerful, important voice just because you disagree with them on one subject, one on which we've all watched you sincerely evolve as you grapple with principles you've been espousing for years, like America First, like what's happening to Christians, like what's best for us and our kids here? How do I keep them safe? That's my number one priority. And I've been just absolutely disgusted and recoiled from people who have tried to pressure me on it. It, of course, never happened. But I know from speaking to Charlie, he felt it too. You've heard it from Charlie that he felt, and there is a layer here of nefarious pressure to have certain narratives go only one way.
Yes.
That must be called out and must be fought.
Well, I should have said in my open that when Charlie was denounced as anti-Semitic and, quote, dangerous by the American Jewish Committee, you were too. That was a press. I don't know if you've ever even seen it. And I just remember when I read that at the time thinking, okay, these are like two of the most pro-Israel, basically pro-Israel people like on the internet. I don't understand. So maybe we should have this offline, but let's just have it now. I don't get that. Why would you attack? There are definitely people who hate Israel who are not anti-Semites, or people who hate Israel who are anti-Semites. There's a whole range, and then there are like people who have like,
okay.
You know.
I'm sorry. I realize, I don't know. You know, I grew up watching these people on TV. I had a certain level of respect for them, but I'm realizing now they're all retarded. It's insane. Megyn Kelly, I really like Megyn Kelly. It's weird to see her also grift into a plane of retardation, but let's explain it slowly. Because Tucker Carlson can have nuance in every aspect of life except for this one. There are many Jews in America that are liberal and democratic. There's just as many on the right. There's just as many of them who are Republicans. There are certain Jews, okay, on the left who fall into DEI and fall into this shit and that shit. And those are the Jews, some of them, not all of them, who started claiming everybody was anti-Semitic and everybody was Hitler. It's a problem for us. Also, for us Israelis and us Jews also, you can have a certain level of nuance about everything except for that, can't you, Tucker Carlson? Maybe it's because Muslim supremacists are paying your bills, allegedly, to say this stupid shit to cause more division. Is that possible, you fucking retard? I think so, innit? And Megyn Kelly. Megyn Kelly. You're actually a smart dumpling. But guess what? Ladies and gentlemen, here's the reality. Money talks. They know. They say this. They allude to it. It starts coming in. And here's the thing. These people are all losing their influence. You don't believe me? Yes, they're getting millions of views, but they're losing their influence. They realize that they're in danger of being overcome by people like me. God forbid, I would never say that I'm on their level, but people like me, people that are coming up right now that are disavowing the shit, and they're fighting to cling on. Who's their audience? Who's their base? It's 50-year-olds, it's 60-year-olds that have been watching their whole life. Young people are not watching Tucker Carlson. Young people are not watching Megyn Kelly. They have to grift and hold on to whatever young or older base that they have left that's paying their bills, that's keeping them relevant. And when they lose them, it's over. They're fucking cooked. I'm just starting, baby. I'm 29 years old. I got my whole life ahead of me. And a bunch of people like me who are disavowing the stupid shit that these fucking retards are saying. So again, I don't want to put Megyn Kelly right at the level of them, even though I know we're about to go through some of the stuff she said. It's not looking good for Megyn Kelly, but I want you guys to realize the very baseline, none of these people believe any of this stuff, maybe besides Candace Owens, because she truly is retarded. Like, she's got to be on the spectrum. But most of these people, they don't believe what they're saying. It's just really good money. You get a good paycheck for talking shit about the Jews. You get a really good paycheck for it. Megyn Kelly, I want to be clear. This is from the Misfit Patriot. I want to be clear. I'm not saying Israel has to do anything to do with Charlie's death, but let me spend 20 minutes criticizing Israel while talking about Charlie's death. Tucker Carlson, of course, nobody's suggesting that, but I agree with everything you said about Israel. I told you, it's just money. It's money. I actually don't believe that Megyn Kelly believes that Israel had anything to do with Charlie's death. I don't believe that Megyn. I think Megyn is smart enough for that. I think she's literally just hungry for cash. They all are. Can you imagine all these people used to be on TV, living in fucking fancy buildings in New York City, and slowly their whole world, we came in, we started talking shit on cameras with our iPhones, and we destroyed their whole fucking industry. What do you think they're going to have fucking morals and values? These are the most corrupt people on planet Earth. Tucker Carlson, Megyn Kelly, these are the most fucked up individuals on planet Earth. These are the people who allegedly were doing fucking cocaine parties in the Fox News offices. Come on. Don't fucking start with me about morals. You think these guys have journalistic integrity? Get the fuck out of here. These people don't have journalistic integrity. Get the hell out of here. Okay, here's another one.
He did not like Bibi Netanyahu, and he said that to me many times, and he said it to people around him many times. He felt that Bibi Netanyahu...
You know who doesn't like Bibi Netanyahu? Most of Israel.
A very destructive force. He was appalled by what was happening in Gaza. He was, above all, resentful that he believed Netanyahu was using the United States to prosecute his wars for the benefit of his country, and that it was shameful and embarrassing and bad for the United States, and he resented it. Didn't hate Netanyahu. He wasn't out there with a placard saying that.
Qatar.
But he certainly expressed that to me and a lot of other people. And there's no question that Bibi's defenders on the internet will call me a liar or a kook, but that's a fact. And enough text messages exist that I think it can probably be verified in pretty short order. Not that it needs to be, because that is true. He did not like Bibi.
I won't call you a liar or a kook. I'll call you retarded and paid by Qatar. Catarded. You're catarded. Tucker Carlson, you're catarded. That's what it is. You're absolutely 100% catarded. Here's another clip here we got from open source intel about Charlie Kirk, probably disavowing what Tucker just said.
So, it's funny. I used to say that, hey, if you as a gay person would go to Gaza, they'd throw you off of tall buildings, right? Now they don't have any tall buildings left, so I don't...
Yeah, seems like he really hates Israel.
Is that too soon? I'm sorry. Maybe you shouldn't kill Jews, stupid Muslims.
Well, damn, Charlie. Calm down.
I like that.
Where was I?
Yeah, seems really, 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 really fucking sympathetic towards the Palestinians, just like you, Qatarlson and Candace fucking retard Owens. Really, really seems like he's right on your side. We got a little meme here. We care about Charlie Kirk. Be honest. We are being honest. Be honest. Okay, we hate the Jews. Thank you. Fucking stupid meme. That's really stupid. Okay, let's see. We have another clip here from Candace's retard show.
He was publicly executed again before the world. The question is why? There's one person who's been out there acting like he is a widow, just saying the absolute most, tweeting first about what happened to Charlie. Bibi Netanyahu, in fact, I know for a fact, that he is misrepresenting some things that happened there towards the end.
The Islamists, the radical Islamists, and their union with the ultra-progressives, but they got Charlie Kirk, and it's just heartbreaking.
Who is they, BB? Who is they?
The radical left.
Who got Charlie Kirk? Because you said a lot there, but it really sounded like it was about BB trying to establish a narrative that we saw reinforced by a
He's not. We know who the shooter is.
lot of people that, Charlie kind of made it almost sound like he died for Israel. Bibi Netanyahu in that phone call, what took place was a couple of weeks ago before Charlie lost his life. Charlie was in the Hamptons and he had an intervention was staged by Bill Ackman.
He did not like Bibi Netanyahu.
Rational thoughts about Israel were a no-no. Bill Ackman was very upset or call us, don't you?
I think this is very similar to the clip we just watched. I'm going to do a little reenaction of Candace Owens and how her logic works. Hey, Candace, what's 2 plus 2? Well, it's 6. How is it 6? It's 4. 2 plus 2 is 4. No, it's 6 actually because of Bibi Netanyahu. No, Candace, listen. If you have 2 of one thing, right, and then you have 2 of another thing, you have 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 plus 2. You add those 2 together, that's 4, right? Let's say you have 2 grapes on this side of the table and 2 grapes on this side of the table, and you put the 2 of them together, those 2 separate groups of 2 grapes, it's 4 grapes, Candace. No, it's 6 because of Bibi Netanyahu and the Jews. You're a demonic cunt. All right, we've got another clip here.
Not like Bibi Netanyahu, and he said that to me many times, and he said it to people around him many times.
We had like an hour with Netanyahu.
He's special.
Yes.
He's a special leader.
No, I say.
Oh, and he's everything a leader should be, right? I mean, just confident and direct.
Barack wasn't.
He was appalled by what was happening in Gaza.
So, it's funny. I used to say that, hey, if you as a gay person would go to Gaza, they'd throw you off of tall buildings, right? Now they don't have any tall buildings left, so I don't... Is that too soon? I'm sorry. Maybe you shouldn't kill Jews, stupid Muslims.
He was, above all, resentful that he believed Netanyahu was using the United States to prosecute his wars for the benefit of his country, and that it was shameful and embarrassing and bad for the United States, and he resented it.
How do you guys reconcile with the fact that despite so many American first policies and sort of speeches he gives, he still very adamantly supports Israel, a country which at times seems to be opposed with our democratic values?
Hold on. Let me ask you a question. Is America first, America only?
Yes.
Oh, see, I disagree. I don't believe in America only. You do?
Yes.
Okay, so I disagree. I don't believe in America only. I think we should prioritize ourselves, but I think there is a place for America to be involved in international relations.
Bibi's defenders on the internet will call me a liar or a kook, but that's a fact.
Because you're a liar and also probably autistic. All right, ladies and gentlemen, there's this last clip I want to show you that is my last compelling evidence about this situation. This was posted 2 weeks ago. Charlie Kirk publicly called Candace Owens demonic. I don't think it's exactly how he framed it, but I think this clip is the last good piece of evidence we need.
Thank you for coming, Charlie. And I had a quick question about anti-Semitism online. Another question here they asked about Candace Owens, and I'm a big fan of you. I was a big fan of her, but she's obviously been going down this anti-Semitic bent. And through her, I'm kind of finding out about these other characters online, like Nick, for instance. I'm sure you've heard of him. And these people, they've been active for a long time, and it seems like they've just been ignored, which is working, but now they're kind of surging in popularity. And as someone who I enjoy watching your debates, are they people you'd be willing to engage with and maybe shut them down in a way through a debate or something like that?
Well, I mean, I'll get to debate Candace. But no, look, I'll debate anybody that shows up at our campus events first and foremost. But I do want to take what you say and extrapolate that there is a corner of the internet of people that want to point and blame the Jews for all their problems. Everybody, this is demonic and it's from the pit of hell. And it should not be tolerated, period. But it goes to a structural problem of an entire generation that has economic resentment. They don't own anything. They're not getting married. They're not having children. They're depressed. They're anxious. They're staring at their screens all day long. And all of a sudden, your extrapolation of all that is, well, it's the Jews' fault. That is sloppy and shallow thinking. Yep. And not only that, they say, oh, it's the Jews' fault. Okay, let's kind of play this out. Well, tuberculosis, that used to kill about 1 billion people. You know, it's a group of Jewish scientists that came up with the antibiotic that cured tuberculosis. How about CPR, the MRI machine? You know, there's over 500 million lives that were saved over the last 50 years because of people that were Jewish scientists that were working on things. They'll never say thank you to the Jews, but they'll always say shame on the Jews. It's weird how that works. And finally, they always blame the Jews for stuff. Jewish people are an ethnicity. So therefore, definitionally, you have people that are secular, orthodox, religious, that are all over the spectrum. You're trying to blame an entire ethnicity for a singular problem. Hold on, let's take a step back here. Instead of that, what could you possibly do in your own personal life to improve your own state of being? If you are blaming 0.02% of the world's population for all of your problems, that is not going to be good for your soul. It's not good for your psychology. It's not good for your future in any way, shape, or form. And so I would just say this, that any young person that goes into this hyper online brain rot, you are serving yourself over to your own demise. You are serving yourself into a suicide mission that will not make you happier and not make you healthier. Instead, here's what your attitude should be. Your attitude should be like, I can't own stuff, I got it, can't own a home, I'm not getting married, I don't know who to date. You said, wow, the challenges are immense. I'm going to now overcome all those challenges and go on an adventure. I'm going to prove everyone wrong. I'm now not going to be a victim. I'm going to be a victor. I'm going to dig deep. This is still a great country. This is a free country. I'm going to use my agency. I'm going to use my ability. And I'm not just going to go point in the corner and be like, I'm overweight because of the Jews. Women don't want to date me because of the Jews. How about this? As Jordan Peterson would say, sit up straight with your shoulders back. Follow the rules for life, make yourself interesting, learn something new every single day, and instead of pointing at a small group of people and engaging in this brain rot, become a better person. You'll be a happier and healthier, more joyful and productive person.
I think that clip of Charlie needs to be circulated all over the internet. For demons, actual demons like Tucker and Candace, who are trying to make it seem like he hated the Jews and he was twisting. No. Nah, bitch, I'm not going to buy it. I'm not going to buy it. This is the thing. This is the overarching message, and I've said this on many videos before. You guys have heard me say this. If you are a Muslim or a Christian, you make up over half the world's fucking population. You guys are 4 billion, almost 5 billion people together. 15 million Jews. You could kill us all tomorrow if you wanted to. All of us. If you guys stood together, instead of being so divisive, you could wipe the world of your problem tomorrow. You guys are the most powerful group of people, holding all the wealth and all the riches, all the militaries, all the technology of the world together. All the Muslims and all the Christians around the world. You are the richest, most powerful nations in the world. How are we your problem? See you guys in the next one. I love you long time. Goodbye, Clats. If you believe in my content and want to support me, just know your help is needed. There's a bunch of great ways to support me, being PayPal, Buy Me a Coffee, or joining my Patreon community down below. Patreon is the best way to support my channel, and you'll get a bunch of cool perks depending on what tier you join. Another great way to support me is by buying my merchandise on thetravelingclat.com. I regularly drop new merch designs like this beautiful hat, or this amazing shirt, where you can support the channel and get something cool for yourself. I also have an amazing Discord community with people from all over the world. Thank you so much for your support.